All right, guys, we're here. This is the wrap-up summary video of the Death Guard versus Chaos. Steven playing Abaddon and team versus me, not Ultramarines. What the heck? I'm playing Death Guard. Probably why I lost. So
you'd have still lost with
spoiler. No, actually, it was much closer in the game than I thought. Like, you know, when we looked at the score, I felt like I was just getting crushed the whole game. I was just like trying to make moves, and he's just running away. I'm like, I just can't make it. My plan that I sort of concocted in my mind was I had the 3 objectives, but my spawn rolled 2 1s in a row. I couldn't push this 3rd objective. I had like an idiot shot, made a crucial mistake.
Some butthead wouldn't let you drive a rhino through.
He put this thing 3 inches right across the wall. And rhino's 3.5 inches. I'm like, oh, I guess I got to drive around 3 turns to come this way. But there's 2 things, key moments, right? I picked While We Stand. Morty was my big guy. And turn 1, I won the roll to go first, and I made the calculated choice to push him up. I could have played cagey. I could have pushed him back, force you to kind of come out of the booth. Your range is 24 inches, a little bit more if you put warp time and you advance. But you couldn't get all your guns to bear. So I'm like, I could stay back, but I'm going to push the thing. And then I ran everyone else forward. So then my thinking was, I'm going to like draw fire with Morty, and then these guys are going to push up. And you're not going to shoot him, which ended up working. You shot at Morty. He survived with 1 wound, but the damage
did work.
The damage was done. So I'm like, I pushed up with Morty to charge. Did I have run back at that point? Like, I don't know. That cost me a lot of points at the end of the day. Second big choice I had, I decided to try to charge a big unit of Bloodletters.
Yep.
With the Terminators, there's a long charge, 9 inches. I really wanted to get that movement to kind of threaten your guys because your fire base was just too far away from me to shoot at, make a charge, kept backing up. But if I had done that, I would have been right in front of you. So you probably would have shot me to bits. And then, so when I did that choice, I just elected not to shoot, not with the Rhino, not with the Terminators that were in range.
I mean, by the end of the game, I think I get Mortariaon, right? So we play this, but I think as we play the back and forth, I push. I chase you a little bit every turn into the corner, and I eventually, bring guns to bear on him. Now, because of the Plague Burst Crawler, I don't know how many guys I have to do that with at that point in time, right? Like, he was fantastic at smoking obliterators every time.
Yeah, with entropy cannons, like that was what was doing work, because every failed save was D3 plus 3 damage. So
it's dead guy,
kill a 4
just
wound
instantly
guy.
dead guy. There's just no choice.
But the key thing was, like, if I just run back, or if I just don't die on turn 2, like you picked, cut off the head. So if Morty just stays alive till turn 3, like, that's a big drop off.
I never get those 10 points, right? Like, if I get him by the end of the game, I get 1. Right, 1 point.
Yeah. You drop down to 6, you drop down to 1. So making it turn 3 with Morty, as much as that pains me, as like I'm going to spend 500 points huddling in the corner, denying you points. Like, that's probably what I should have.
Well, if he goes back into the corner, I don't bring the Bloodletters back there, right? Like, I got no time for that at all, right?
Yeah.
He murders those guys.
Yeah.
So it's an entirely different game given that setup. Now, if I get lucky, right? If I smoke the Deathshroud Terminators, right, and you're over there, I try to continuously run from you. Right, like I come this way, and try to chew on guys.
Yeah, it was always my plan to, like, the bulk of my force. I had the guy that you can't charge me, so it really messed up your Bloodletters. Really messed up.
No time for that.
Your Orb Talons. So, like, they were pretty much unmolested. Like, if you didn't shoot at them, they were just standing here, which felt really terrible for me. But I was scoring points. If I could have just made half a decent run or charge over here, I could have got this 3rd objective a little bit sooner. I mean, we could have been just tied on primary, and then if Morty was alive back there holding the 4th objective, like, it could have been Death Guard team all day long.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. Yeah. See, there's a couple key plays, but
those 1 wound warp talons, I can't bring them out of the booth, right? So you have to wait for time in, and I'm not going to stuff them in against the foul Blightspawn, right? And wait for something to happen. I can't swing second; they're just dead.
They hit like a ton of bricks,
right?
But they got to hit first, right?
Yeah,
and him turning them off, like,
they're dead. I mean, otherwise they're 8 1 wound guys with a 3-up save. Like, good job.
Yeah. But really close game. At the end of the day, it's still pretty close. I was just trying to squeak some points. Last secondary. Yeah, that's tough.
I looked over at the end of turn 3, right? And we were 39-38 or something like that.
I had no idea what the score was.
I'm like, oh my God. Everybody's talking like I'm going to win this game. I don't think I'm going to win this game. Like, this is about to go south. I just know 1 roll. I'm done.
I had no idea what the score was.
So the Deathshroud's gross until I could separate him from the Foul Blightspawn. Right. Once I separated him from the Foul Blightspawn, wasn't nearly as worried about that guy. Yeah. So I think I think everybody else was right. I think instead of sending the Warp Talons back there to deal with the Plague Bush Crawler, I should have brought them out of the booth against the Terminators. I should have come this way with them and just shot him. And I think I get more for my money that way. So
yeah, I mean you're forcing saves on all the guys.
Yeah.
I think at that point, the spawn has to run over there.
And honestly, not in a million years would I have thought that I'd have kept all three of my While We Stand, We Fight guys alive. Not in a million years would I have assumed that. So, that's good. But if we should adjust that score down by 5-10 points and then see what that is, right?
Well, I could never really get line of sight on those guys. I was shooting the 2 guys down, but I could never kill the big unit of 3, which is the really one I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
I shot a mortar at him a few times.
A couple turns, I had full buffs up on them too, right? 4 up invulnerable save, 5 up feel no pain. They're tough to deal with.
They were tough, yeah. You actually got your powers off like every turn.
I did. That was impressive.
Yeah, that never happens.
I could roll 6 on 2 dice. Oh,
I've never seen powers like this. I'm like, what? Who are you? But anything else MVP for your game?
So it was the Bloodletters. The Bloodletters they did more work and scored more points in this game than any other unit, right? I mean, Abaddon and the Obliterators did what they kind of do, which is they killed Mortarion and they put some wounds on things, they shot things, but honestly, all they were was a distraction the whole game, right? It's the Bloodletters that shifted this way and then they killed everything on that objective and then they went all the way into the backfield and murdered all the zombie dudes. So, they're definitely the best unit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it did work. I mean, I can't believe I let those guys live. And then at insult to injury, you rolled that one when I killed one guy. And you 6 guys. I was like, get out of here. So you didn't watch that. There's some interesting dice rolls. You definitely got to watch the Blitz shooting at Mortarion. Him living with 1 wound was pretty epic. Dice rolling on both sides.
It was good. Could have been better. He could have died, but I'll accept that.
All right. Well, that's all for this game. Definitely, thanks for watching. If you stayed this long, tune in next week. We'll be playing Dark Angels, the new hotness, versus Custodians. How's that going to be?
I hope Dark Angels get straight up whooped. Right. Just like, I'm glad you showed up, but take your stuff home.
I think they got a lot of bikes. They're super fast. Custodians super slow.
They are very, very slow. That is great. But once you reach the middle of the table, what do you care if you move anywhere? Right? I'm glad you showed up. Bang. Bang, bang.
I think those bikes can be driving circles around this Custodians laughing. But we'll see. Next week, tune in. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.